What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's episode, we will be doing a Java project coverage, which involves a server client integration between store and admin user. So let's jump right into the code, demonstration, and check out what's going on. First things first, let's go ahead and get this store class started, which must be run before the admin client. So once we start, we can see that it says waiting for connection. We'll jump right into admin client and we'll hit run as Java application. And before we check out what the admin user is saying, let's jump right back over to store and we can see it is now connected to a new client, which is our admin client. And it starts our Java store as we saw in our previous screencast. Hopping right back over into our client thread, we'll go ahead and do a command 2, which retrieves the current data within the store. So it's going to be passed between ports, and yeah, let's check it out. As we can see, we got a JSON returned result, and it says we pretty much have 8 items, last item being a shield called large shield. And our WoW server pretty much replied to us and said all inventory items have been retrieved. From here, we'll jump back into our other thread, our stored thread, and we can see that we got a message from the admin client that says command R, retrieving all inventory items as a JSON payload. So admin client is basically letting the store know, hey, I'm viewing your current inventory right now. So just to make sure that the inventory we saw in the client thread matches up with store, we'll go ahead and press view store inventory. And as we can see, yep, 8 items exist, and now we have it all set up the way we wanted. But one thing I will show you guys is, as we can see, the last item is still large shield. What I'm going to do now is, because it starts with an L, let's just go ahead and sort this list and see how the values are retrieved from the client thread. So we'll do ascending by name, hit the A button. Now the list is now sorted, and we see we have a sorted type. Item 5 is now large shield. We'll jump back into our client thread and we'll retrieve command R again. And as we can see, ID 8 is no longer large shield, it is now potion, and large shield is now in position number 5. So that's how you pretty much get sorted lists. Well, sorted JSON result sets. So from here, what we can test is the command U, so which is basically adding new items to the store from the admin user. So what type of product do you want to create? Let's just go ahead and create a bow, and we'll call this one a crossbow. Enter description for this item, trigger handled. Enter a price for this item. I'll just go ahead and say $450. Enter an item level for this item. Let's say 67. Let's say 69. Okay, WoW server replied, booyah. So let's check out what's going on in the store thread. And as you can see, we got another message from the admin client in store. And it says command U, inventory update was issued as a JSON payload. So right now we know we have 8 items in the list, but what we'll do is we'll press no, and we'll say view store inventory again, and we can see we now have the new trigger handled crossbow within our inventory. So we know that is working properly now. Next thing I can show you is what will happen if the entire inventory is empty. So get out of the view inventory menu and we'll jump into the manage store inventory menu, and we won't sort the list right now. Instead, we'll just go straight to clearing the list. Now the entire list is clear. If we press view store inventory, we can see inventory is empty. So let's jump back over to what the admin client is experiencing on its end, and we'll say command R, which retrieves JSON payload. And as we can see, we get a server response, and these are pretty much all the items, and it's just an empty tag waiting to be initialized. So while server lets us know all inventory items have been retrieved, and right now we know list is empty, inventory is empty. So what we'll do is we'll do a command U, and this time we'll add another item, and we'll say number 4, which is a helmet type, and we'll give it a name of bucket hat. Enter description for this item. We'll say purchased in LA. Enter price for the item, $13.99, and we'll give a item level for this item, and we'll say a 10. So while server replied booyah, let's go ahead and check out what's going on in our store side, and it says command U inventory update was issued as a JSON payload. So JSON was sent over. What we'll do is we'll view our store inventory again, and as we can see on the store side, the inventory has been updated. A couple other operations we can perform since we have time is we'll do another command update. This time we'll pick a different item. We'll say shield. Give the shield a name. We'll say Avengers shield. Enter description for this item. I'll say owned by, or I'll say wielded by Captain America himself. We'll give this item a price. We'll say $9.99, almost a grand, and give this item level, and we'll give it a 11. Wowzer replied booyah. So that's how we know. We already, if we checked over in store, we know that another command U command was called, so store will let us know, and we'll retrieve. We can see that first item still exists, helmet, bucket hat. Now we have the Avengers shield. Now I want to try one more test. Since we have more time, we'll do a number 5. Now let's give a name for a potion. So we could call this Pepsi bottle. Enter description for this item. Grants 10 attack power and grants 10 attack power for minus 10 health or minus 5 health. Enter a price for this item, and we'll say $3.29. Actually, we'll say $2.19. Enter an item level for this, and we'll give it a 7. Wowzer replied booyah. And yeah, so we'll check it out. We'll do command R again. We have 3 items, and then we do we go back to the store. We can keep seeing that command U is being called, command R is being called, command U, then command R. Now to exit out of this application, we'll go back over to thread first, and we'll just say disconnect. So we'll enter number 3, and Wowzer replied exit, admin client shuts down. Then we can just go back over to our store side, and from here we won't sort the list, we won't purchase anything. Actually, just to show you, we could purchase everything, so we'll all these new items that were sent over, to make sure that it still works, we'll add 1, add it again and again. Now inventory is empty. Shopping cart is filled with our newly created items sent over by admin client. We won't sort the list, and we'll purchase all items. So we spend $1,015.18 at the WoW Armory. Shopping cart is clear, inventory is clear, and we could just go ahead and press 4 and exit. And now we have exited out the WoW Armory store. And that is today's Milestone 6 Java server client project demonstration screencast.